Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network will million.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can add over there some of our newer items that we have in stock. And of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this Thursday, just like it is every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network show. I want to thank everybody who's checking us out live on YouTube and Facebook. Get involved in today's show. You can leave myself or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant real estate question. And when you meet today's guests, you may very well have questions for them as well. Submit them in the comment section, and you never know, your question may very well be answered on today's show. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, proud proprietor of a clothing brand, and today, also a very valued and cherished member of the Houston Association of Realtors. I want to thank you for sitting in with us this week and like to introduce everyone to the Texas Real Estate.
What up, Rick? Listen, we in the building, man. Another day, another opportunity for other people to come and experience some great guests, and some explosive information. So I'm again, that out there, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and share it out to people.
You know, today's episode is that time of year again, and I'm really excited to talk about the 2025 Houston Association of Realtors Board elections. So we're coming up soon, man. So for the members of our audience, Larry, who aren't very or the importance of the board of HAR election, could you just share a little bit about your experience and your history out about what's coming up soon?
Definitely. So, man, I really want to give I want this to touch people that are licensees in the city of Houston, in the Harris County area, that are with the Houston Association. Sometimes we just don't know, right? So for those of you that are out here that are already friends, family, and fans of the platform, I want you to know you're a licensee and you're with the Houston Association of Realtors. You should be aware of voting. The voting when it comes to our association, in my heart and in my passion, is just as important as the national elections, the state elections, the city elections that we see that take place. You need to be able to be involved and know whom it is that's sitting on your board, the people that are helping make some decisions for your real estate licensees and things of that matter. So with that being said, I did have the honor and the pleasure of running about 15 years ago myself. And I'll be honest, when I ran 15 years ago, I was not as informed. I was not on a board of advisories the way that I am now. I wasn't as engaged as I am now. And so with the things that I know now, the people that we're bringing on the platform today to speak and talk about our election process and their their level of experience when it comes to the areas that they're going to be working in. It's so super important. So again, out there, if you're a licensee, make sure that we're going to give you details as we go through the show today, and going to give you details on how it is the process is going to work for you. But I definitely want to tell you to get involved, and I want you to definitely pay attention to today's guests. There's some people that are not only friends of mine, but they're actually very active. They take their being a licensee and being able to, help people that are looking to buy, sell, and invest in this business, as well as us as realtors, and protecting our licenses and the way that we do business. Those things are very, very important to them. So, I'm just excited about that. Just to give you a little background on how that association works too.
No, I definitely appreciate it, Larry, because it's always an honor and a pleasure to interview like-minded real estate professionals, especially in this sphere. But what makes today's episode so special is that we have not only those knowledgeable professionals, but also those that have stepped up to be leaders and influencers in the real estate space. And before I introduce these two ladies, could you just share a little bit about how you were introduced, background, and how far we go back with the two guests that we have coming on this week?
Yeah, man. Well, one is definitely a friend of the show. She's a past alumni of the show. And so, kudos to everything that she's done with building out her business and things like that. And I've actually known both today's guests for quite some time. So, both guests have went through the TOLP process. I do favor the TOLP 2015 process a little bit better, but for the most part. And so what the Texas Realtors Leadership Program is what that is. And that's for realtors that are in this business that have really thought about how they're going to take their business not only to the next level for themselves and for the organization, but for you as a consumer, those consumers that are listening to, or those clients, or those people that are looking to buy, sell, and invest in real estate that are out there. These are realtors that have really honed in on their expertise and have decided that they wanted to be bigger just than just a person that wanted to help you buy and sell, but they want to be a leader inside of the organization. And so with that leadership, it comes with several months of just really intense training, intense knowledge growing. And so both of them have went through that leadership process. So when it comes to being able to sit on our advisory board, I think that they're both experts at this. They've taken the steps in order to know the background and how those things move. So I'm excited to have them on the platform today, Rick.
Oh, no. In today's episode, I'm really excited. I don't want to waste any time before introducing this week's guest, because this episode is meant so that the members of the Prime Real Estate Network audience can get to know two of the most dynamic candidates for the 2025 Houston Association of Realtors Real Estate Board. First, I'd like to introduce, running for the seat representing the Northwest District, Ms. Naquay Dunbar, and running to represent the Southwest District, Ms. Jami Bertrand. Thank you so much for sitting in with us, ladies.
Hey, thank you for having us. Good morning, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, cool thing is, Jami, thank you so much for sitting in with us for a second time. For those who subscribe to the show, subscribe to the channel, Ms. Jami Bertrand has blessed us with her appearance on the Prime Real Estate Network in the past. And we've always offered her an open seat to sit in with us anytime she wanted to sit in. So thank you so much. Ms. Dunbar, thank you so much for sitting in with us as well. Larry spoke about realtors and how passionate he is about those who choose to serve on the board of directors. And I'll ask you this question first, Jami. What is it about HAR as an organization that's drawn you in? And what is it about your professional brand that motivates you to want to serve on the board of directors?
So first and foremost, I've been involved with HAR, like Larry said. Even more with HAR was going through the Texas Realtor Leadership Program, class of 2015, the best class. But we had several classes within that program. One of them, we went to the Capitol. And I think education and knowing what our association does for us is extremely important. And I mentioned this in my video. I have a story back when we had COVID, and the entire world was shut down. We weren't deemed essential. It was the medical and emergency personnel that was deemed essential, but it was the members of our advisory groups, our political and governmental affairs advisory groups. We went before the county judge to petition for realtors to be deemed essential. And for some of us, that was our best year. It was during the pandemic. And it was because of HAR. If HAR wouldn't have done that, and if HAR didn't have those relationships with our politicians, with our lawmakers, we would have still been sitting home. And, we don't get a check. We don't get salary. If we don't work, we don't eat. Yeah. So that's extremely important. That's the reason why I decided I wanted to work within HAR and to lend a helping hand to continue the mission of our industry.
No, I appreciate you so much for sharing, because Larry and I have spoke on the show about the political action arm of the Houston Association of Realtors, Texas Association of Realtors, and I think sometimes the work that they do behind the scenes can be underreported.
Right.
So thank you so much for showing and illustrating how those things that may go on unseen can affect all of us as real estate professionals. Ms. Dunbar, I want to ask you the same question. What was it about Houston Association of Realtors as an organization that made you feel a part of, that made you want to be actively involved? And what is it about your personality that leads you to want to be a leader in this field? Because it can be a lot of responsibility.
Yes. So first off, I like to say it's TRLP class of 2023.
All the babies.
The babies.
Yes. So definitely I learned, as what Amy said, that I wanted to get more involved after graduating from that program. As well as being a leadership, I've always been some type of leadership within my past, current. I've always taken on that responsibility. And when it comes to my personality, I just want to lead, just kind of not take control of everything, but be a little bit more helpful and resourceful to people, because I feel like not everyone know how to find information or know information. So I'm all about sharing. So I feel like if it's enough leaders out there that's willing to do that, we should definitely step up.
And it's Rick, as I listen to some of the things that they're saying, this is bigger than what you see on HGTV when it comes to what licensees do. This is more of a bigger thing where you take your business not only serious for yourself, but for the consumers that we come in contact with, which is millions of people in the Harris County and Houston area, that we are, that we look at ourselves as being leaders and representing not only that, but just the way that they move every day when it comes to it. So I love what they're talking about when it comes to just the leadership role and why it is that they're passionate about, taking and helping our organization continue to grow.
Right.
I definitely appreciate you sharing that, Larry, because leadership is something that isn't always thrust upon everyone. Sometimes you have to make a choice. You have to improve, you have to educate yourself and put yourself in a position where you're not only an expert, but you also can be a thought leader. So I want to ask you this, Jami, because you're running for the board seat representing the Southwest District. Now, everyone in our audience may not have had the pleasure to work with you in the past or know you from a personal standpoint. So what is it about the Southwest District that leads you to want to represent and serve that area?
So I live in the Southwest District. I live in the Missouri City area, Most City.
Most City representative?
Most City. But I've been living here for about, I want to say 15 years or less. But I'm heavily involved. I know this area. I have relationships with our city officials, our elected officials. I actually sit on the board of the Missouri City Small Business Advisory Committee, and I'm actually the chair this year. So I get to see all of the new businesses, all of the infrastructure that we have going on. We have a metro being built here. I get to see all of the anchor tenants that are coming into our Fort Bend Town Center that we just built. I get to see these things before, it hits the public. I get to have a seat at the table so I can help our elected officials determine what businesses come, or to even support our small businesses mainly, to see what small businesses need, how to make them thrive, how to help them sustain. But also, I live here. My children go to school here. I live, work, play in this area. And I think it's just important to have someone to live in that relationship with our lawmakers and our politicians, so we could be able to
ask you the same question, because the Northwest District, and that's the area in which you'll be running for their board seat, is the area town that's close to my heart. So I'm just curious to know, what is it about the Northwest District that moves you to want to serve in this capacity? Because like we mentioned earlier, it can be quite a responsibility.
Yes, thank you. The Northwest is near and dear to my heart. I am born and raised in Houston, and I've always lived, worked, did everything on the Northwest side. I've never moved past the Northwest side. And so it actually falls into when you sign up for a category, is where your brokerage is located. So brokerage is on the Northwest side. And therefore, I wanted to clear this up too as well. Realtors can vote all over the place. The ones that are in Jami's area can vote for me as well. And the realtors that are in my area can vote for Jami. So they can vote for each category no matter what the location is. But I'm very familiar with the area. I do remember back when they were working on for 290, how they've been working on 290 since I was a little girl, right?
Right.
And so I'm just familiar with everything that's been going on. They changed the highways so much. We have new loops, different things. And I love giving my clients, especially the ones who moved here from different states, the history of Houston, right, and especially the Northwest side, and just want to represent for this area because I'm extremely passionate for it. So.
And I want to give kudos to both of you ladies, because Larry and myself, as native Houstonians, people who've practiced our real estate businesses here for so long, over time in the decades of evolution, sometimes we don't always understand how much of an influx of out-of-town families have come to Houston in the last 5, 10, 15 years. And I'm so proud to be able to introduce you two ladies as stalwarts of the communities in which you're running for election, so that those people who may be new to Houston from Chicago, maybe new to Houston from Milwaukee, Kansas City, St. Louis, when they become licensed and they see you two ladies on the ballot, they can vote for you all and have a clear understanding that these two ladies not only, like you said, Jami, eat, live, and play in these areas, but they are also experts and passionate about seeing those areas succeed. So thank you so much for what it is that you're doing. And Jami, as class of 2015 of TRLP, I'll ask you to educate our audience a little bit about the election process.
That was his. But I think he's gonna just kind of like how we were speaking earlier, Jami, on how it is that the process actually works in a way that realtors would be able to identify things of that manner.
Okay, so voting begins, first and foremost, voting begins July 30th through August 5th. Now, if you want to see a list of candidates, you can go to har.com/election. When you start voting on July 30th, they're going to send out an email. It's going to come from Big Pulse, Pulse. So it's not going to say HAR. You're probably going to think it's spam, but I need you guys to make sure you're looking for an email from Big Pulse. Additionally, to add to that, and then I'll let Ms. Naquay if she wants to add something to this, but there are only 3,000 realtors that vote in this election. There are 48,000 members of HAR, but only 3,000 of them vote. So it is really important that we get everyone else in there to go and look at your candidates, to make an informed decision, and to vote on July 30th to August 5th. Because we need more than the 3,000. Everyone needs to let their voice be heard. This election is just as important as your local and national election. Who you have in those seats represent you, and they represent the association, the board of directors. They're the governing authority who gets to determine your dues, who gets to determine the classes, that we have, that we offer. So it's really important that you let your voice be heard in the matter of votes.
Yes, and to add on to Jami, I believe that we're both are very accessible and genuine and helpful. Yeah. So please, be free to ask us whatever questions you may have. We can be reached on Facebook, Instagram. We're on a ton of different platforms. And like I said, I want to be way more accessible to anybody. I know sometimes new realtors could be a little shy and may not know what to ask, but just feel free to ask me whatever you feel, or you just want to hear a little bit more about it. I do think, as Jami said, it's very important to vote. As I've been on my campaign journey, I've realized that a lot of realtors weren't even aware that they could vote. They've never voted, never participated. And I'm speaking of brand new realtors and realtors that's been in a business 10 years plus, have never voted before. And so another thing is, if you do not receive that link, please let us know. Send us a message. You can email us. We're realtors. We know how to find each other on HAR, get our information or whatever. And when you're voting and you look at that candidate list, read about us. Go take a look at our HAR pages. Go take a look at our social media. Get to know us a little bit more to make you feel comfortable about who you're voting for.
That's right. And I'll add to that as well. And it's like you said, it's crazy to believe that we have over 48,000 association members, but only 3,000 take an opportunity to vote. And this is important because one of the things that comes from this, as you participate in this voting process, you as a licensee start to learn more about the industry and all of the other resources that you have access to. Because this is a big thing. A lot of times when we join, we don't take the time to actually go through our HAR website to really dig deep to know what's in there. That thing is full of everything. And so it's bigger than just, can I sell someone a house? Or can I do? No, you need to get involved because this is your career. If this is your career, you need to get involved, not only to one day be maybe a person that sits on our leadership teams and committees the way that these two beautiful young ladies are doing, but also so that you're aware of all of the benefits and the beauty that comes from your license, as well as the things that people do for you at our association. So, but with that being said, definitely go check out that link that we've been having screaming across the bottom of the screen and go and follow up. Figure out who our candidates are. Become aware of who some of your leaders are when it comes to this industry. And that is really a big thing. So we have Ric back. Ric, sorry that we lost you for a moment there, man. What's going on? What's our next question?
No, man. You guys did an outstanding job, man. One of the things that is most important is, and I appreciate Jami for illustrating this, is how small of a percentage of the licensees actually get involved in this part of the process. And I want to thank both of you ladies so much for taking some time out of your schedule to put a face with a name, to put a voice with a headshot, because in our industry, we do so much marketing,
right,
that I think we don't even understand how many opportunities we've had to be in someone's email or come across their IG feed or their Facebook feed. And there are probably so many names on the election list that people may recognize, but you two ladies have done the extra to actually be a part of what's going on and actually explain and introduce yourself to our audience. For that, I definitely thank you all.
What do y'all slogans? Y'all got slogans
this week? I want to ask each one.
My bad, Ric. Do they got slogans? Do y'all have slogans? Do we create slogans?
I do. I have Thrive at 25.
I was wondering. I like that, Thrive at 25.
You
got a slogan?
I love her slogan. The only thing I had said at the end of my video was, let's make 2025 the best year yet.
Okay, listen, everybody that's tuned in, y'all go and y'all check out these videos. I want to know, I want y'all to leave in the comment area the energy that y'all got from this video. Things that, questions that you may have. I may most definitely leave those things in the comment area. I want to know, I want to read those things as well. So I'm sorry, Rick, you had a question going. I was just curious.
Oh, no. This is outstanding. But I want to thank both of you all. You've done an outstanding job of not just illustrating your passion, but also informing us on why we need to take our responsibilities as voters, especially in this real estate field, a lot more seriously than maybe some of us have done in the past. So thank you so much. Ms. Dunbar, I want to extend you the same invitation that Jamie has already had from us. Anytime you would like to sit in, please reach out to Larry and myself. We would love to have you sit in, share anything that's going on. And this question is for both of you all. And Jamie, you please answer first. For anyone in our audience who've heard this interview, would like to meet, greet, and interact with Ms. Jami Bertrand in person, when, where, and what time will that next opportunity present itself?
Well, you're going to have to send me a message. We could probably establish some kind of coffee date or something like that. Because, you know, I do a lot of work. I do a lot of working, then talking. And you may not see me everywhere, but I am behind the scenes. I am working and moving the needle forward. So I don't have any events, I don't think, set up right now. I will be some places, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But if you want to reach me, though, you can reach me on my Instagram. I am Jami Bertrand. You can also reach me on my Facebook. It's Jami Bertrand, and LinkedIn as well, Jami Bertrand. That's the best way to reach me.
Thank you. And Niquay, will there be any opportunities to meet and greet and interact with you in person coming up in the near future?
I don't have any specific events. I have been out at different events. So whatever's going on with HAR, I do know that there is a global dinner coming up on July 30th. I don't remember. Do you remember?
Thailand. It's going to be Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, the Thailand. And it's a tree pack.
And it's a tree pack event on the tree pack committee. And I can be reached on Instagram at Niquay_the_realtor, as well as Facebook and LinkedIn, Niquay Dunbar. And I'm just, hit me up and whatever questions you may have.
Yeah. You know, that's another thing. Shout out to these ladies being actively participants of our tree pack committee and on our tree and actually being active in tree pack. Man, tree pack is so important for us as licensees. That's another thing that I feel like more of us as licensees should participate in. Our real estate pack. You know, we're the biggest pack in the state of Texas. That's a big thing. And what that really says to those of you that are out there that are homeowners or future homeowners, as well as licensees, is our real estate pack goes out and identifies government officials that believe in the things that we believe in as a committee, as an association. And we get behind those people in order to help them either get elected, stay elected, and things like that. So it's very important that if you are not actively involved in tree pack, that you donate to tree pack. We're not asking for an arm and a leg. Tree pack can be anything from $40 to however numbers that you can. But just keep in mind, this is to protect you as a licensee. And we have a list and a database of things that at tree pack that we've done for not only home buyers and protecting your tax rates, homeowners and protecting your tax rates, as well as you as licensees. And protecting, fees and the things that people want to bring and put on top of the money that we already worked so very, very hard for anyway. So definitely want to make sure you all are actively understanding that and engaging in that. And ladies, if you don't mind, so if you want to give a closing or something that you want, something else, anything, whatever that is, because, again, I'm happy to have you here because I thought that we was going to lose her today, Rick. I thought she was going to be on the stage with the vice president. That's how she moves. We don't know what we got in our president today. She's usually hanging out with like the vice president and stuff like that. So she chose to be here on the Prime Real Estate Network, with us today. So I'm excited. So if you don't mind, you want to give us some closing remarks, anything like that, you can as well.
I do want to piggyback off what you said regarding the PAC dollars. It's because both Niquay and I sit on governmental affairs boards, and I'm actually the chair right now of HAR's Fort Bend PAL. And what we do is we sit 8 hours, and we don't get paid for this, right? We don't get paid for this. We sit for 8 hours and we interview each candidate. We have questionnaires and we go through each question to make sure, and those questions are tailored toward our homeowners, our consumers, and our colleagues. These questions are geared toward real estate friendly, and we want politicians and lawmakers in office that care about us, that care about affordability and home ownership. And we do that. So we're just not giving away PAC dollars. We are vetting these people extensively. So I also want to ask too, is because it's the same people, which is great. I love, the people that I work with, but we would love to see new faces. Get involved in your association. There are several different advisory groups. Get involved in TRLP. You need to see what your colleagues are doing behind the scenes, because it looks great. Those Instagram tours and home tours, it looks great. But there's so much more that goes into it behind the scenes that keep us afloat. I don't want us to be Blockbuster. Blockbuster is obsolete. It's Netflix now. I don't want us to be replaced by AI. So this is why I'm so passionate about lending my voice to the association, so we can make sure that our industry thrive.
That's right. Yes, indeed.
Yes, I love that.
What's up? What you
exactly everything what she said, as well as showing a little bit more of the serious sideness versus getting out on our Maseratis and Mercedes Benz and walking to homes. Let's just show a little bit more of what we actually do and how we fight for the public, when the public don't even really know that we're the ones behind fighting for them, right? And so definitely with her, and I would say get involved. Vote. We have tons of committees, as Jami said. We have Engage conference coming up, I believe, right, Larry? That's right. We have YPN. We have so many different committees that you can go online, and they have openings every year. I don't remember the time. Is it like August, October, something like that?
Yeah,
usually around October. Mm-hmm.
Yes, October. You can go in, and then I'll definitely spread the word and let people know. And vote. Tell your friends about it. You have realtor friends. You have realtor family members. Let them know to go out and vote. That's the most important.
Yep.
No, man. Thank you so much. This episode has been so dynamic and powerful. I want to thank both of you ladies for spending time with us. Larry and I we're gonna stay dialed into the election. As the election gets closer, we'll definitely keep the word out. And we would ask now that both of you ladies come back on and celebrate with us after you win the elections.
Win. Yes, win.
Absolutely. After you win these elections, babe, come back on and we can hang out and celebrate. So thank you all.
Yes.
Both of you queens, thank you so much for what you all do, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Have a good one.
There you go, Larry. Man, we had a great episode today, brother.
Yes.
It was outstanding. Now, as someone who's been a part of this election process and has been on the ballot, any stress or pressure that you felt leading up to the election, could you just talk about the emotions that go into it as the date gets closer? Because that's one of the things we didn't get a chance to talk about, because of course the election hasn't come for them yet. But for someone like you that has,
here's the thing. I think it's because of I think you do feel a sense of heaviness on you, right? Because you're not doing this because of some personal journey that you're on. You're doing this really to represent the other licensees, the other people, our other colleagues, right? You're in here to give major advice and be able to sit on the board to make decisions about, what the association has going on, what the association thought process is on the growth of the association. And so I think that is something that weighs very, very heavy on you as you go through, meet agents, explore the opportunity of teaching and coaching and telling agents about the process. A lot of times, again, many agents don't even know that this election process takes place, because again, we have over 48,000 people a part of the association, and then we have only 3,000 people voting. So that's a big gap that we're going to make sure that we get that gap is neutralized going in. So I really do heavily believe that some of those challenges does weight on you, especially as you go into the community, because again, we're still working, right? So as these ladies and as everyone that's running for a board seat, they're still working their business. So you're going out and you're meeting people, but you're still going in every day, doing your work, getting up earlier, spending time with your family. You know, they have families, right? So you're spending time getting your kids together, getting your spouses or your partners together, and you're really thinking and digging deep when it comes to that. But then you're still going out to find a way to represent and sit on the leadership board with the realtors themselves, or for the realtors themselves with our association, man. So yeah, no doubt about it.
That's great, man. Appreciate you. You know, normally we always ask at this part of the show, what's going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King. So is there anything, are there any events? Will there be any opportunities to meet, greet, and interact with you on a personal basis coming up in the next couple days, sir?
That's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be in the city. I'm not sure what I got going on. So it's conference season going into August. So, you know, going into August is conference season. So a lot of things that's going to be taking place. So I want to give I definitely want to give a shout out to People Paparazzis. Yesterday I had an opportunity of doing a photo shoot, an amazing talent. So for those of you that are in corporations that need to get headshots done, his Instagram page again is People Paparazzi. I advise you to go check it out. Go follow him. Go ask him questions. Amazing when I tell you it comes through. A lot of times I think we have a little bit of a stress behind us when it comes to doing photo shoots and getting new headshots and things of that manner. And we don't know, you know, how we're going to position ourselves. But his talent and one of his strongest skill sets is him being able to walk you through what the process looks like, what you're going to look like. And it's not going to take you all day. You're going to get in and be out with a nice session. And he's going to do great business for you. So again, People Paparazzi, definitely go and check out his Instagram page and follow, like, give him a subscribe. Leave something on one of his posts in a comment that I mentioned in, and that I definitely give validation to what it is that he does. Also, super excited. You may have seen that I have on my Engage pin, right? And so want everyone to know that Engage, the conference that's going to be taking place for those of you that are licensees, when we're going to go live on August 1st. So I want you to be aware of that. August 1st, we'll have the website. Everything will go, and I'll definitely make sure that we attach a video to a future podcast that we're hosting. But definitely want you to know that the Engage is going to be coming live. So you're a licensee, you're in the real estate field, you don't want to miss this conference. It's in your city and it's under $200, right? There's going to be a bunch of things going on, but it is definitely affordable. You're going to have everything from technology, an opportunity just to network with other great professionals. And this is the one day that if you ever take a day off from your business, this is a day that you should take off, come into here and learn something at an affordable amount that you're going to be able to implement in your business throughout the year. So again, want to give a shout out to everyone that sits on the Engage committee. Also my cohort, cohort Shelly. And so, man, we also made some amazing reels that are going to be dropping here very soon over the next week or so. So make sure you go to Texas Real Estate King, follow me on IG. You're going to really enjoy these reels, man. It was fun making them. And so just some behind the scenes stuff. So, you know, Rick, just hope that answers the question. How about you? You got something big going on this weekend?
Well, you know,
I mean, I know earlier this week you spent some time with the Houston Texans. So, what's your weekend looking like?
Two things I'm gonna say before we sign off. Had a great time at Houston, Texas training camp. The city of Houston is really excited about the team. Big, huge shout out to everybody with the organization. They do a great job of making it family friendly, accessible, and making the players accessible to the fans. But it's been a couple of weeks. You know, we had weather circumstances. We have the life getting back kind of normal. I want to publicly give you your credit and props. The Texas Real Estate King hosted a really cool social during Screwfest. It was my first opportunity to enjoy Houston Screwfest. So I want to give a big, huge shout out to everybody involved in organizing that show. Big, huge shout out to Mr. LarryWBrooks for setting out the hospitality. It's something that as a native Houstonian, you would have thought that I would have already had the opportunity to enjoy in the past. But 2024 is my first Screwfest. I want to give you your props for inviting me out and getting me out in the city. Big huge shout out to all the Houston rap legends that performed that night. And I know you've been to these and you go pretty regularly, but it was a great event. If you haven't had an
Man,
opportunity to enjoy it, put it on your list for next year, brother.
Rick,
Well,
man,
thank you
it's,
so much
it's
for
for those of you
having
that haven't been yet, it's my favorite holiday.
me.
You
Come
know what I
on.
mean? And I mean, that's incorporate. I'm talking about holiday, including Christmas and all these other things that people come up with. June 27th in H-Town is my favorite holiday. I've celebrated it for many, many years. And just to go out and be around my peers, people that I went to school with, people just to know that it's the city, man. So definitely appreciate you being there, Rick, man. It was, we had a great time. So, you know, those of you that hadn't had an opportunity, go check out some of our footage. Check us out on Instagram. You know, we just put it out there. And for those of you that have not been before, man, hit us in the comment area. Let me know if you want to join us next year. And, you know, I'll make sure that we have as much fun this time, next year as we did this time. So, and shout out to my man, Taylor Wayford. Man, Taylor, me and him talked about this thing for 52 weeks. Ever since last June 27th of 2023, me and him, every week we DM'd or we had some kind of subject matter about June 27th for 52 weeks, and so we made a day of it. So yeah, shout out to Taylor.
No, man. Like I said, thanks a lot for getting me involved. Big huge shout out to Taylor Wade Hoffman and Houston Real Producers. Big huge shout out to Jay Joseph, our producer behind the scenes, man, making us look great and sound better. Big huge shout out to the team over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. Until next week, if you're in the audience and you need to contact Mr. Brooks or myself, we just a text, email, or DM away. Everyone in the audience, until next Thursday, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.